Hi guys, sorry for the delay. There has been some technical issue. I got a new laptop and it kind of gave me some trouble. Yeah, I'm back on my old laptop and thanks for joining. Yeah, this is Ella, your friendly advisor in Ireland, and this is the second session of Ask Ella sessions. The first session was on taxes. It was a great hit, and this session is going to be on mortgage and home buying process within Ireland. Sorry for the delay. Again, apologies from my end. It's purely technical issue. Was all ready, to do this particular session with you guys. First of all, I actually have a mortgage series that has a lot of videos on the mortgage process, the 8 steps which I had to go through in the mortgage process, as well as I gave my vivid experiences around the expenses and snagging, what all I had to do, and how I saved money to, get to this place within Ireland, purchasing a house. First thing first, the first step to purchase a house in Ireland is to save money, right? And to save money, the two things, right? One, you have single salary and you have dual salary people, and the house prices are in the market around 300 to 450K in Dublin, and elsewhere it is from 250 to 400. So if you have any questions, you can type there and I can read and I can answer them. If you don't have any questions, I will go through the list of questions which I got from a few of my friends, as well as I'll also explain a few things which apparently are not online, and I hope you can get some knowledge from me. First of all, can you hear me okay? Yeah, perfect. So first thing, the banking rules put a limitation on the mortgage amount, and the mortgage amount can be it can be 3.5 times your salary or 4.5 times if there is an exemption. With respect to exemption, they give exemption to 20% of the first time buyer's mortgage and 10% of second time buyer's mortgage. I have a question there. Is HTB scheme a good option? It's hard to find new constructions. Any news on it would be available for next year's or not? Actually, HAP scheme is housing assistant purchase. Yeah, fine. So HTB, the latest news is it's going to be extended. It will be next year. I do not know if the STB amount will be 30K as it is now, or 20K, which was previously there. Because of COVID, they increased the STB from 20K to 30K, but that only led to increase in prices of the purchase of the houses by 6% just because of the 20K increase. Myself, I got close to 17,600 from the revenue as part of my STB application, and I utilized that towards my deposit when I'm purchasing this house. I think they'll extend it till next year. On HTB, you can apply for HTB, and because of HTB, you get up to 30K in taxes back from whatever taxes you paid over the last 4 years. This can be single person's tax, or it can be combination of wife and husband's taxes added up, and the entire amount that you can get back is 30K. I know a couple who paid 60K in taxes in last 4 years, but they only got 30K. That's fine. You can use 30K towards the fixed deposit, and fixed deposit is usually 10% of the whole house price for first time buyers. If you are a second hand or second time purchaser, you can't avail HTB, and you can't avail 10% of deposit. You need to pay 20% of the deposit, and that needs to come from your savings. That's about HTB. The first process in house purchasing process is to save money, right? You need to save towards 10% of the target house you are targeting. The next step is to apply for AIP. AIP is approval in principle. You can either apply online in the bank websites, or you can reach out to advisors in the bank. I went to advisor which my company was providing, and he actually helped me throughout the process, and they were very quick. Once you have AIP, the third thing is to add up your savings, the 10% of the deposit, and your AIP, and target the houses and areas where you can purchase the house, right? For me, it was coming to an amount which, I can purchase a house within Ireland, but it was not close to the target house. So I went back to the bank after I paid the deposit on, I mean, the booking deposit of 5K or 10K on the house. And I asked them I need little extra. As I applied for AIP and my house purchase process started at the early of the year, I had to, I got this AIP exemption, and at the end, instead of 3.5 times, I got 3.7 times of salary, and we were able to afford this house. I have a question. Can we rent the home and go India? Yes, but if you take Help to Buy scheme, you can't rent the entire house for first 5 years. You need to be primary resident of the house for first 5 years. After that, you can rent and you can go to India. If you are not primary resident and you want to rent the house out, so they will claw back some money from from the HTB that they gave you. For example, if they gave you 30K and you stay for 3 years, so 60% of HTB will be with you. The 40% will be clawed back by the government. Yes. So after 5 years, you can. Again, coming back to the mortgage process, I got exemption. Now I have exemption. I paid the booking deposit. I need to sign the contracts. On the day of signing the contracts, you need to pay the rest amount. The rest amount is basically the 10% of the house purchase price minus the booking deposit you paid minus HTB if you got HTB. The way then you pay the rest. Like for example, I got HTB of 20K and uh, contract deposit was 40K and I paid 10K in booking deposit. On the day of signing contracts, I just pay 40 minus 20 minus 10, 10K towards the contract signing amount. That will, and then later after 2 days, I upload the signed contracts into revenue website, and revenue pays the builder the rest of the amount. Now I signed contracts, I paid the 10% of the deposit towards the house. What happens next is the builder says the house is ready for you to snag. You snag the house. You say yes, the house is good, and during the process, you also apply for offer letter from the bank. Once the bank gives you offer letter, you that I mean you have the offer letter. Now you are done with snagging. You say to your solicitor, "We are good to go." The solicitor then requests funds from the bank after verifying all the documentation from the builder, and then the bank transfers the money to the builder, and builder hands over the keys to you to move in. That's the entire process. But there can be delays with respect to offer letter, the funds movement, the builder not getting all the documents in place. For example, in our case, there was a 2 months delay just because the management company of the estate was not able to produce Irish Water's water registration document, right? There may be cases where there's a delay from the bank. The offer letter after the AIP, the bank is delaying giving you offer letter because of the changed circumstances. And there may be many such cases. There may be delay from you not being able to arrange the 10% deposit. I have a question from Priyank Kulshetra there that can we book a house which is under construction with some percentage, then get our savings build up to 10% of house amount? Yes, the builders are very clever, right? They sell half the sales plans even before they start construction, right? That I had that opportunity in Parkland City West. Basically, what happens there is they sell before they start construction. In that case, what they take is they take the booking deposit, 5K or 10K, and then within a couple of months they'll ask you to sign contracts. But even in that case, you would not get much what you call huge time gap between the deposit payment and the purchase of the house or the signing of contract. So you need to be a little careful. And the thing is, even for you to get AIP approval in principle from the bank, you need to show 5 to 6 months of savings, which is difficult if you don't save enough, right? And if you basically need to save close to 10% at least to get AIP from the bank. So it's not like India where you have phase-wise construction. In the first phase, pay X. In second phase, pay 2X. Third phase, pay 3X. That doesn't work here. But yeah, you can delay signing contracts. You can do few things from your end to increase the gap or increase the time period between the booking deposit to signing contracts so that you can save more. Prabhakaran has a question here. What will happen if you sell before 5 years? You can sell before 5 years. Again, same thing. If you avail HTB scheme, they will take some money from HTB by prorating it on a scale of 5 years. I may not sell it if I'm purchasing a house. I'm purchasing for staying long. If you're purchasing house for a few years and you want to move back, then uh, it's a difficult decision. But as I see the market for next 5 years, the prices are going to increase. The growth rate may reduce, but the growth will be there. If you're purchasing house, if you're selling it before 5 years, you'll be selling the house for profit, and you'll not be paying any rent, right? It's a win-win situation. So the only thing that will happen is USD will be clawed back. I actually saw a few more rules. If you can I rent the entire house before 5 years? You can't. You need to be the primary resident, else the HTB will be clawed back. You can sell before 5 years. Again, HTB will be clawed back. Um, you can rent a room in your house through rent a room relief scheme, wherein you can earn up to 14,000 euros a year without paying any taxes. That's called rent a room relief. I will probably make a video on that, and I'm currently renting one of the rooms in my house. That kind of helps you, to pay towards your mortgage too. Uh, from my own house purchase process, there was a delay of 2 months because of a document being not produced by the uh, company, management company within the estate, and there was a bit of delay from my solicitor not giving me the right information. So be careful with what you agree with solicitors. Sometimes solicitors delay things, or they may do things so that they get money faster, but you end up being in a tricky situation. How did you select the developer? Any site to compare? To be honest, the big developers here are Kane Homes, there's Maplewood, there's Quintain, who are constructing Cherrywood Park and all. It doesn't really depend on developers, to be honest. Developers who are big name, who are really big in the country, there'll be some kind of promise that they make, and they reach. They deliver it, right? Small developers cannot. But at the end of the day, what these developers do is they contract out the building of house. Someone will do the concrete, someone will do the timber, someone will do the kitchen, someone will do the flooring. They themselves do not have one single team to construct the house. So most of the guys, subcontract the house, right? It doesn't really matter who the builder is. What matters is what's happening in the estate. Are they delivering the houses as promised? How are they? How is the quality of house? Are there any mica issues or primate issues? The few issues within Ireland, you need to look into that. Yeah, those are the things if you're purchasing for the first time that you look into. Um, yeah, Priyank there. Thanks for the insight. Looks like a better way would be save first before. Yes, I think so. We did save 10% before we even started looking for a house. What that did for us is because of the delay, we are able to save more money, and we purchase better furniture. So if you keep your finances tight, you may end up purchasing things which are not great in quality, and you end up cussing yourself for doing that. I always suggest to save 10% even before you apply for AIP. Uh, yeah, Raghu, yeah, thank you. Yes, I put on some weight because I was not moving much. Prabhakaran has a question there. Can we register the home both husband and wife? See, if you're married, whatever house you purchase, it will be in both names. You can't escape it because you already register your wife with revenue. for tax rates and stuff, you need to purchase the house together. If your wife is a partner, not married, then yes, you can purchase on your own name. But if you're married, you need to. Even if wife is not working, she will get the house, half of the house. It's not even life gift amount. She'll get half of the house. Even you make sale, she'll be, legally she can claim half of the house. And yeah, those any questions you can keep chatting there. I will read them as soon as I get time. Can stamp one people get mortgage? Yes, Piyush. I was yeah, sorry, I just moved on to stamp four when I got the mortgage, but when I applied for AIP, I was in stamp one. Stamp one, people can get mortgage AIP. The best banks to reach out to is KBC, BOI, and PTSB. PTSB, I heard few complaints. BOI and KBC, they give mortgage to stamp one too. The only thing is, on stamp one, if you're a single salary person and your wife is on stamp 1G, if she doesn't have a salary, then you may not get the 90% of the mortgage that you are expecting. You may get 85 or 80% based on your salary, based on the savings you show. What they do is they do stress test, and as part of the stress test, they look at number of dependents, the expenses, how much you are saving on monthly basis, and whatnot. One of the key tips which I gave during my videos is the best way to earn, to not just earn, to have your AIP process simplified is to open a mortgage saver account and deposit a certain amount every month for at least 6 months. By doing that, what will happen is you're telling the bank that, hey, I've been saving for 6 months. Every month I've been saving this amount, and I'll be saving that even for future because of my financial condition. You can believe me, you can give AAP exemption or extra mortgage percentage, like on the basis of percentage, and I'm really reliable and have a great credit history. So the more you show, the more you save, the less you spend. Banks will be very happy to deal with you. Priyank has a question there. Is AIB a good bank for mortgage? I opened a saver deposit with them to show the habit of saving. Congrats on that. It's the best thing, as I said earlier. Having a saver deposit, mortgage saver deposit to show habit of saving is a fantastic thing to do. AIB is a fantastic bank. I did not go with AIB because uh, I already had a premier advisor on Bank of Ireland. And the reason I went with Bank of Ireland is the interest rate I was getting was 2.7%, and there was this 2% cashback in first 2 years and 1% cashback after within 5 years. I felt having the extra cash after purchasing the house is necessary so that I can buy better furniture. Else, it will be little difficult. For example, I took a loan of 369K, and 2% cashback was around 7380, and that was a good amount, right? 7380, you can purchase good sofas, nice bed from having on for 2 bedrooms, and you end up with extra furniture, nice furniture. I suggest you to go with AIB. The only thing is AIB doesn't have. I don't know if there are cashback. These banks always keep changing things. They are. I mean, the best way is to go to their website, read through it to see if there are any benefits. I also applied for AIP at KBC Bank, and KBC Bank gave me 1,500 back, if I'm not wrong, for solicitor fees. That was the only cashback on the AIP contract. The thing with Bank of Ireland is if you have a mortgage saver account with them and you save up to 5,000 euros within 6 months, and you take mortgage with them, you get 1340 euros after taxes into your account. So in my case, I had a mortgage saver account with Bank of Ireland. Because of that, I got 1340 back, and I also got, because of 2% cashback, I got 7380 back. If you add them up, I had 8700 from the bank just because I took mortgage from Bank of Ireland. So imagine the amount of money you get back if you plan yourself, go with the banks depending upon the offers that they have at that moment. Yeah, for me, I thought Bank of Ireland has been fantastic, not just with cashback, even with the mortgage process. Their advisors were, really good. Any questions? If before I dwell into other things, which I think should help a lot of people. Okay, one thing is, yes, Priyank, I would suggest, you can have multiple saver accounts. Deposit five in each. The more you put into the saver accounts, as soon as you receive a salary, you don't spend them. If you really look at the normal fins, normal formula, people say salary minus income minus expenses is savings. I would say income minus savings is expenses. So that should be the fund everyone should follow if they want to build wealth and have targets of saving money. Piyush has a question here. How many months of bank statement do you bank see? I'm asking because I'm paying my student loan. I was also in same situation. I was paying my student loan. KBC has asked for 12 months, and 12 months had 6 months of student loan payment. And I paid off my student loan much earlier, primarily because I did not want to have another debt on my head. They asked me, why did you make such lump payments? I told them I have a student loan and I want to close it before I take mortgage. Whereas Bank of Ireland asked me for 6 months. The thing they are, I guess they asked only for 6 months because I am already a Bank of Ireland's customer, and I've been having bank with them since 2017. Yes, so it depends upon bank. They never go behind or beyond 12 months. 12 months would be the max they would ask for. Now, yeah, coming back to the process there, if you see the process, there are four stakeholders, four entities: you, the bank, the solicitor, the builder. There may be fifth, which is estate agent, but estate agent and bank, the builder are together. And these four can delay things. Like you can delay things by signing contract late, paying deposit late, claiming HTB late, doing snagging late. You have opportunity to delay if you want to delay, and that's acceptable. Solicitor in Ireland are powerful. So because of the power, they become lazy and they do things slow. They don't respond to your emails. They don't tell you the actual feedback. They just go with whatever you say instead of they helping you out. So be very careful with the solicitor. Third, bank. Banks actually want to give loan to you as fast as they can. They want your house closing process to be done. But if your documentation is in proper setup, then you're good. Always make sure that your documents are good and be they look out for the pay slips and work reference letters that they ask for. So you don't have problem with bank. Next comes builder and the estate agent. These guys, they build fast. There may be a few estate agents, a few builders who are very slow. But even in that case, if they promise you, they usually deliver. But if there is some issue with respect to a document, or they're not able to get BR rating, or maybe XYZ, these guys can delay a lot. And sometimes you get frustrated with builders. And if you read online or if you follow Facebook groups, you see that has been one of the pain points for any purchaser within Ireland. So solicitor, builder is where you get a lot of issues. Bank is on your side, and if you want, you can delay a lot, or you can pick up the process as fast as you can. To be honest with you, we felt a lot of stress during the purchase process because we were not sure what's the next step in first place. Even though we know what the next step is, the solicitor or builder, one of these guys, were delaying things for us. So keep patience. Meditation may help, walks may help, and I would suggest look out for furniture, look out for things you want to purchase, budget for them, save for them, and look out for cashbacks from the bank. And at the end, purchase things much before you move into the house. So we were given June 11th as the date, but we did not purchase beds and all till May. I thought we did mistake there. We should have purchased in April, and that would have been delivered in June as soon as we entered house. Because we delayed the purchase of furniture, we had to sleep in the house without much furniture. So buy furniture things much earlier, because the supply is very less, the demand is very high. I have a question from Spruti there. Will a working dependent on stamp 1G affect mortgage amount? Yes, definitely. Like I was stamp 4, okay. My wife was stamp 1G and she was working, I was working. We added up our salary and we got, in our case, we got exemption. It was 3.7 times the combined salary. If even if you do not get exemption, you can do 3.5 times your combined salary and you get a good amount. I always suggest, if you're married and if your spouse is not working, ask her to work. Even if she has no interest, ask her to work for a year, add your salaries up, and on combined salary you get a nice bigger house. And then she can or he can stop working, and then you pay less in rent, I mean less in EMI than the rent you actually pay. So few sacrifices to be made, but I suggest go for combined salary. Otherwise you would not get a bigger house in Ireland. The other thing is AIP exemption. I made an elaborate video on AIP exemption. One of the key things with AIP exemption is it's difficult to get it. As I said, only 20% of first-time buyers get the AIP exemption, but it's not that difficult. You need to be very smart. The exemption cycle runs from January to December, just like the financial year. And just like financial year, the companies would have big budget at the start of the year, and the budgets reduce, and there'll be no scope for new projects as you go along, right? Same thing. The 20% exemptions, they get finished in first 2 quarters, and for the next few quarters, the other 2 quarters, there'll be nothing there for them to exempt on. And most of the time they say we can only give 3.5 times, and people purchase houses with 3.5 times, and they end up purchasing a smaller house and making sacrifices because of less money. So I would suggest you to apply for AIP exemption at the start of the quarter, so that you can purchase a bigger house and you can go till 4.5 times your salary. For example, let's say there's a combined salary of 100K, 3.5 times will get you 350K, and let's say you saved 550K in savings. So you can go for a house which is just 400K. Whereas if you get exemption till 4.5 times, you get 450K, and savings of 50K can get you to 500K. So Adamstown, Lucan, if you really look at those areas now, the 3-bed house is 430K or 440K, 4-bed house is 470 to 480K. So 500, having 500 gives you a lot of leverage to purchase. You can purchase cheaper houses too, right? Even if you got exemption, it gives you more leverage to choose the house you like in the area you like. If you have less money coming from bank, you do not have that leverage. So at the end of the day, you need to trade off between location and the house. Yeah, any other questions that you want to ask, like around areas in Dublin, uh, or how do I purchase in rest of Ireland? What are the, if you talk about Cork, you get very good houses for lower prices. You need not even go to the suburbs like in Dublin. You can buy within 5 kilometer radius in Cork. Within Dublin, as I see, there are a lot of houses being built in Adamstown, Lucan, Newcastle, and in the south you also have Cherrywood, Clay Farm and all near Carrick Mines. That's another area where many houses are being built. In the north, Ballybrigan, Clongriffin, Belcamp is in Clare Hall, and then Lust and Rush. That's another area where the houses are being built. If you move out of Dublin, you have Johnstown, Navan, Meath, Enfield, Dunboyne. These are the areas where they also are being built. If you go again further south to Wicklow, there's Arklow, Rathnew, few areas where the houses are being built. Depending upon your own situation, work situation, as well as situation with travel, traffic, and vehicles, you need to make few choices and few trade-offs in choosing the house. I personally took in Newcastle. There's only one public bus which goes to the center, number 68. In during weekends, it takes an hour, 50 minutes. During weekdays, during traffic time, it takes 1 hour 15 minutes. But we have few amenities here, but we are very close to City West and other places. So if you are working City West, Newcastle is a good area to live in. How many years older houses should be considered? I went for a new house. The reason being, I'm planning to stay here for at least 10 years. And I don't want to stay in a second hand house where the BR rating is less and, the other problems which come because of the structural engineering or structural bond which the house has. If you're considering second-hand house, always look at BR rating. I wouldn't suggest going below C as BR rating because whatever under C you'll have damping in the house, molds in the house. You'll be hearing your neighbor's noise. You'll have all such problems in the new house. In the aerated ones, you'll not have such problem because those are insulated. Uh, yeah, and then the house is very warm, and I don't feel cold at all. Even I do not have heaters on, so the heat stays inside the house. And these houses are soundproof. I do not hear. I stay in the end of terrace house. I do not hear from my neighbors at all unless they are drilling something in their house towards this wall. Yeah, Peach, hope I answered your question. If you are considering second-hand houses, always look for good areas and also look for houses with a great garden area. Those are the only two things I'd be looking at if I'm purchasing a second-hand house, apart from the structural survey and the BR rating of the house. Yeah, I covered the process. I covered the banks, the stand the bank takes. I also covered few good areas around Dublin that you can look at. A lot of people ask me questions around North versus South Dublin. I would suggest you to watch the good areas video which I made on my channel, which actually tells you the real good areas. And the other thing which I consider while purchasing the house is the antisocial behavior. We looked at houses in City West and looked here in Newcastle. Newcastle looked like a better area because we did not encounter any, antisocial behavior even during our visits. Whereas in City West, it was very vivid. You can see it in with your open eyes. That's another thing I would consider. Again, not being racist or being something here, but there's always this danger of yourself getting killed. I heard Lucan has security issues like break-ins, etc. Should I still consider it? You are right. Like areas Lucan, Adamstone, these were supposed to have very bad rapport. Uh, they seem good now, Gaurav. A lot of Indians stay there. They still break-ins and all. You have security and all, but it depends. I did not choose Lucan primarily because I did not want to spend more than a certain amount on a house, and I did not go there. If I had more money, I probably would go there because of many new estates coming there and thriving non-Irish community too. And there's great cricket setup, other sports, amenities. It's a good area with a lot of facilities. Yeah, thanks, Mayank. That's fine. Thanks, Piyush. Any questions you can ask me? I think I still have 5 more minutes that I can spend on. Okay, I covered good areas, process, AIP exemption, bank documents. There's a video which I made on AIP documents that you can look at. The other question, very important question, which a lot of Indians ask me on personal charts is the banks ask for credit score, right? And they ask for Indian bank statements too. Can I show? Some people have this question that can I show them or not? Will it have an impact? I, from my end, I see that I produced all the documents they asked for. They look at credit score, yes, to see how well did you build your credit in Ireland or in India, and they look at bank statement to see if he has any other expenses. If you do not have any of them, you are fine. If you have them, you need to just explain them where you're spending that money. You can say I'm giving the money to my parents for their maintenance, or you can give any good reason, and they are not so pushy. What is AIP exemption? Now, AIP is approval in principle, right? And the amount on approval in AIP is basically 3.5 times of the single salary or combined salary. Now, an example: if combined salary is 100K, I get AIP 3.5 times of combined salary, and that is 350K. But the house price is 500K, and you want that particular house. Then you ask the bank, hey, yes, AIP I got 50K, but the house price is 450K, and I want it. I already have 50K in savings, and I can use the 50K in 10% towards 10% of the deposit. Uh, if you give me 4.5 times, I can afford the house and I can purchase the house. What they do is they look at your savings over 6 months, 7 months. I suggest having 3K on a combined salary, 3K as savings, 2K on a single salary, so that they do stress test and they come up with the weird calculation. They say, yeah, we'll give you exemption and take 4.5 times of the combined salary or single salary towards your house purchase. I already made a video on AIP exemption. Go through it. I gave a lot of thumb rules. Those are the thumb rules which I followed and which helped me to get the exemption. I got 3.7 times. And again, I'm repeating this point. They only give 20% of the 100 applications AIP exemption. For example, they get 100 applications for mortgage. Only 20 of those get AIP exemption, and you need to request for exemption. If you don't request, you don't get it. And it's very important. I mean, at least in Dublin, if you do not get exemption, it's really difficult for you to afford a nice house unless both wife and husband earn crazy salaries, even to Dublin standards. Prabhakar, I suggest you to watch the AP exemption. You'll definitely love it. As you stay outside Dublin, you may have more savings. There's a high chance that you will get exemption. Yeah, solicitors. Yeah, I think I covered everything that's required for the new houses. Second-hand houses too. I did give you pointers around the structural survey report and the BR rating and areas and the other thing. That's fine. Antisocial behavior is another thing. The other thing is if you have a family and kids, look out for primary schools, secondary schools, GAA clubs, football clubs, cricket clubs, whatever you like. Make sure that there's at least one bus connection to city center. Otherwise, it's difficult for you to travel every time in car, right? Yeah, I think that's it. I covered most of it. Do watch the videos on my mortgage playlist. Those videos are more detailed. In this session is basically a Q&A session where I pick up your questions and answer them. If you do not have anything, I'll end this stream. And it's fun again talking to you. And yeah, I wish to help more. I want to keep helping. I help the community as much as I can. Yeah, good night, guys. Have fun. If you have any questions, you can put in the comments or you can email me at allaboutireland247@gmail.com. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification icon so that you get uh, the notifications about the videos as soon as I upload them. I'm going to make few good videos on taxes in a couple of weeks. So keep watching my channel. Stay tuned. I hope my content is good enough to be shared, and keep sharing the videos. Thank you. Bye bye.